Well, folks, welcome to the Land Timber Stream. It's good to see everyone this Sunday. Been some great discussion in chat. Mentors. Que tengas un día fantástico y fiesta. I love it. Love to see a little Spanish here and there in the chat. It's awesome. Yeah, I hope everyone's having a good Sunday. Been some great discussions going on here. ¿Cómo está? The ego. Good to see you, my friend. I am doing well. Good to see you folks in the chat. Thanks again for all the support, folks. Been some good support. Sí, estamos muy bien esta tarde. It has been raining here in Florida, and that's okay. It has not been cold, though. It's been actually pretty warm. It's been nice. Today we're going to talk about how do I know I'm ready for an exam, which is a good question to ask with 24 days to go. I got a little stream bling update. Yeah, tornado watch earlier. Yeah, I had some strong storms here as well, mentors, actually. And it kind of wanted me to take a nap, so I made some coffee. And we got a little coffee robot here. This is BB90. He's ready to go. So yeah, that's helping me keep going, continuing on here. But yeah, so stream bling update. I did. Apparently, I've been nice and not naughty because I sort of had an early gift arrive, which was a new ring light, and I've been able to test it out, and it's great. It was not the correct one. Have you ever done this, like where you go to I'm not using it now, mentors. It's on its way back or going back because you know how you send a link in Amazon, and sometimes you send the link and there's like 4 options. Well, it was one of those scenarios where, you know, it'd been kind of like, what would you like? And I sent a link, and one of the links was a 14-inch ring light with no stand in a travel bag. The one I really wanted was one of the other options. There was an 18-inch with a table stand, which is what I want. But yesterday I was able to test it out, and because before I sent it back, I wanted to make sure that it was actually going to change the way the stream looked, and it does. It really helps, and I don't think I'll need to wear all this paraphernalia, probably. Let's see what it's looking like now, actually. Yeah, not too bad. But yeah, it's gonna be better. You know, I'll still don the trademarked gear here once in a while, but probably won't need it because the light works well. It does throw pretty even lighting, yes. Now what I found is that it's probably not going to be like a huge improvement over the lighting that I have, because I have a light now that's sitting, you know, on a stand behind the monitor. But where it's going to really help me is it has a control where I can dim or increase the brightness. That I currently do not have. Yeah, that's what I have right now. It's like a little shadow box. And what I'm going to do with that, though, and this is what I found yesterday, is that I have one light that is backlighting the green screen. And that's really been the problem. Like you can see this right now. It's a little... Like on this part of the green screen, I have a light hitting this, and I really need a light. You'll notice over on the other side, it's not even. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this light that is here, move it down, you know, underneath, and I'll do a blog on this and a photo so you can see what I'm talking about. But basically, I'm going to have 2 lights backlighting the green screen, and I'm going to have a single ring light here. And I'm going to be able to adjust that so that the baldness doesn't, you know, that it works with a green screen, but it's not the tuning is not such that parts of my head disappear. So, yes, 3-point lighting, you got it, my friend. And that's what I'm lacking right now. I have 2-point lighting, so we're going to be going to 3-point lighting. Some people just use the ring light, but I think they do it for like blogging or... I don't know. I think they have enough other lights in their room to work with the green screen, but here I have basically poor lighting, except for what I provide for the stream. So anyway, it should be pretty cool. I'll post a link when that goes live. So you see the product, in case anyone's thinking about it. It's at $89. And it's like the number one. I want an Elgato green screen. Heard really great reviews, yet dollars. Yeah. Use a key, fill, and backlight. That's right, there you go. That's correct. As a matter of fact, when I started, I considered buying just the 3-light stand setup, and it's not cheap. So this is sort of a compromise. I'm not familiar with the Elgato green screen. I'm curious what that is. Let me open a browser here. I know Elgato makes capture cards. Oh, okay. This is collapsible. Mine is collapsible as well, but not really necessary, and it's not this easy to collapse. Like, this is more for probably like a showroom or someone who moves around or doesn't want to keep their green screen up. Mine will collapse into, like, I have to fold it. Like, it has rubber around the edges. Yeah, I wonder how much this is. Let's see. Let me go to Amazon. I don't know what it shows here, so all right, it's cool. But Elgato green screen. Ooh, yeah, $159. You know, I have to say, if you're moving around, if you're like a broadcaster, you go to show. I don't know. I could see uses for that, for photography especially. Photographers would find this very useful. It would be much easier to fold up than the way mine is to fold up. But that's why it's more expensive, of course. Yeah, good stuff. More to spend on Amazon, right? Because we haven't spent enough around this time of year. Keeping it flat is best, I would imagine. Yes. Like mine springs out. Like it really resists being folded in, and you can fold it in flat. But I don't imagine you could do that a lot. My wife does photography. Oh, really? Okay. 2 birds, 1 stone. Nice. You get a lot of good advice. That's cool. My sister has a degree in photography and did it for a while. She had a pretty cool studio. She had the flashers and all that. So yeah, that's coming up soon. Hopefully that will help. You know, it's interesting. I think about it. You know, when asked, like, what do you want for, you know, I really don't want a lot. Like, well, take that back. There's a lot of things I would like to purchase, like a home in, you know, the Caribbean, right? It's not that I want for lack of ambition, that's for sure. Like, there's a lot of things I would like to have, but I don't strive after them. Like, and really things that are cool to me right now related to technology and the stream, right? I want to put more into the stream. And, you know, one day I might have a business of some type and all this multimedia stuff that I'm learning. It's really about learning for me right now, right? So anyway, that's coming on the way. I know I've talked about that for the longest time, and I can no longer complain about the lighting. I'm sure I'll find something else to complain about that I want to improve on the stream. Yeah, big difference for me. Want and need. Practical and simple modesty guy here. Yeah, same here, my friend. Got to be practical. So written plan. How are we going? 24 days out. How do I know I'm ready for the exam? You don't, simply put. And as a matter of fact, it's interesting. So how do I know when to schedule an exam? Well, you don't really. It's really a lot about trial and error. That's how I like to think about it. And granted, it's not cheap. If you make a guess and you're wrong about being ready, you just pay $400 in the case of the CCIE written. In the case of the lab exam, it's $1,600. But, I mean, that's the way the exams are. There is no guaranteed way to know that you're absolutely ready. And even people who, you know, have passed, are holding multiple IE certifications, go in and pass or fail the written. So, I I don't really know, but that's what I'm trying to do now is not so much learn, am I ready, but what areas am I weakest in, right? Try not do or do not. There is no try. That's right. I love, oh man, Yoda. You know, I really like Yoda's. I just, something I gave one of my brothers recently. He had not seen Last Jedi yet. So, and my nephew had seen it. His son had seen it, but he had not seen it yet. And I was excited just thinking about, wow, someone who had not seen Star Wars The Last Jedi. And I love one of Yoda's sayings in there, a couple of them. Sorry, spoiler alert, if you have not seen Last Jedi, I think my brother's one of the last people in the world that had not seen it. My apologies. But anyway, there's some great stuff in there from Yoda. What was one of them about failing? Let me look it up, folks. It's a really good meme. Yoda Last Jedi quotes. There's one I really like, but I just can't think of it at the moment. Oh, about the greatest teacher? Yeah. Page turners, they are not. I remember that one. Greatest teacher failure is. There you go, Tigo. That is it. I love it. The greatest teacher failure is. So, that's, you know, that's true with the written and with the CCI journey in general. Like, if you want to learn what you need to know to take the written exam, go take the written exam. That's all I can say. So my task right now is to use a few tools, and I'll go over what I'm using. Many of you who follow the stream, you already know. I'm taking like the next few days to modify my list of weakest areas in the blueprint. So here's the things I'm using. I'm going to say 3 right now. One is the Boson exam. So I started taking all 500 questions. And I'm taking my time going through them because I want to identify my weak areas. And then a good question, Tigo. What are you doing differently this time around? Great question. And I have an answer to that. Yep, enjoy the journey and stay humble. Absolutely. Got to enjoy it. So yeah, I'm going through Boson. I'm about in a number 150. I think I started this yesterday, the day before. And I'm using the smart mode. What smart mode is, and in case I want to go back and take it again, which I may not. I may not even do this, which would be one thing different. But if I go back through it again, it's only going to ask me things that I missed or that it thinks I'm weak on. I'm going to study, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go back through the Boson. Then I'm going to go through NETCONF flashcards. Probably not all of them. There's so many of them in there, and there's a lot of repeated areas, but I'm going to go through those. NetSim 12, not sure what you mean there, mentors. It's the Boson exam sim. Boson exam sim or the CCIE written is what I'm using. And the other thing is I'm going to go back through my own notes from the past 2 failed attempts. And I'm going to review my knowledge of those. Once I do those 3, then I'm going to go back and hit those areas, either network lessons or do a lab or study a Cisco doc. And then I may come back and review again to see if that helped. So that's my goal at this point. So what I've done differently to answer the ego's question, I was looking at kind of my schedule before. I have NetSim 11 CCNP. I have a NetSim Tigo for the CCNP T-Shoot. Those are the 2 Boson products I own, exams I own. And I don't plan to use that for this at this particular time. But what I've done different this time is prior to failure number one, there was a period of, it was February, March, April, May, June, 4 months. So I took 4 months to specifically study for the written. I leveraged Boson a lot. Like, I didn't go through any course material. I didn't take a structured course approach, right? I just sort of tested, what am I weak on? Then I went and back and tried to bolster my knowledge in those areas. Watch a video, from INE, or read information from the Cisco docs. So that's all I did those first 4 months, right? I also read Nick Russo's Evolving Technologies Guide. Then I failed, and I wasn't extremely far off, right? But then I just sort of reacted emotionally, I guess, and I took the exam again. I think it was 6 or 7 weeks later. I actually have the dates here. So this was knee-jerk. That's what I'll call this. The second attempt was just knee-jerk. And I thought, well, my thinking was, okay, I failed. Look at my notes, go back through and see what I did poorly on, and then try to get better in those areas, and then take it again. So it was an interval of 43 days to the second attempt, right? So what I did this time differently is I said, you know what? I've got too many gaps. I need to go through a more structured approach, get a more solid base on all the topics that are covered in the written exam. So this time around, I went back through networklessons.com, and I went back through, there's only a few areas that I skipped. I skipped a lot of the routing section. Take that back. I skipped like BGP, OSPF, EIGRP. I feel pretty good in comparison to a lot of the other areas in that. So I hit just about everything else, right? Multicast, security, the services, evolving technologies, VPN. VPN has hit me hard both times. L2, a lot of that had to do with like IGMP, I do believe, and PPP, HDLC, things like that. So that has been the difference in this approach. It has been to really just take a structured, attack the CCIE written like a course. Like, I'm going to do coursework for that. So that is what I've done differently. I've also taken a lot more time than I took when I seriously started studying for it the first time, which was 129 days. This is going to be an interval of 163 days to this attempt. So that's what I've done different, and hopefully that will be a big help. Mentor says, many giveaways for Christmas of free studies and programs YouTube channel starting next week. Just you could Google and join the fun. Feel free to post a link too as well, mentors. I know you did in Discord. Yeah, I support all those. And hey, any free lessons in the community is awesome. Mentors asked, just curious, why do you think Evolving Technologies threw you last exam attempt? I wondered that myself. How is it that I got like a near 70% right, which would have been 7 out of 10 points, basically, the first time. And the second time I got 1 out of 10 points for that. I say points, percent. So I got 70% instead of 100% of that material right. So it's a huge drop. And I went back and reviewed my notes. And the reason is, I think, because the first attempt, my notes covered a lot of other areas. It's just luck, bad luck. So the first attempt, I just happened to get a lot of questions of areas that I'm more familiar with. Whereas the second attempt hit a lot of different areas in evolving technologies that I was not familiar with, and were a little more out there, to use the term. They're like 50 feet deep and 50 feet that way if you're digging. Kieran John, hey dude, good to see you, Kieran. Good to see you this afternoon. Hope you're having a good Sunday, what's left of your Sunday. But yeah, so that's what I plan to do this time. What I could tell you right now with the Boson is I can already tell that methodically going through network lessons has helped me a lot. I'm still missing questions on the Boson. It's not like I don't expect to miss them, because this is really, it's showing you remembering what you forgot kind of thing. So that's what it's good for, I will say, preparing for the exam. The Boson is going to be sure you're like hitting all the areas. But this time when I miss a question, it's not like jaw drop type miss. It's like when I see the answer, I'm like, exactly, I knew that, on a lot of the areas like multicast, even OSPF v3, IPv6, all these areas where, if I do miss a question, I don't miss it by much. And it's not like I don't have any idea what it's talking about. Whereas before, I would miss something, and I'd taken the Boson so much that it was more sort of memorization, which is a faulty methodology, right? So yeah, there's a link to free giveaway. I think that's Network Chuck is giving away some lessons, so good stuff, folks. I can tell you already what I need to work on. Some that I've missed is the old OSPF v3 LSA type, like 8 and 9, and what is the difference between that and 1 and 2. I need to review that some more. Anyway, the mapping dscp values to class of service values, to their binary equivalent, to their hexadecimal equivalent, to their assured forwarding, all these I definitely need to go back over. This is a section that I skipped in network lessons, so this is probably one I'm going to go back and do. I may even do a lab for it here on stream. This is the boring part of the stream right now, folks, because again, I'm going over questions, so all I can really do is vlog stuff. However, I will say that I've got coming up, I'm working all week next week, but the following week, I think I'm only working 1 or 2 days, and I have the rest off. So I'm going to be queuing up some labs to do on stream for that stuff. I think Kieran John says, I think Wireshark can help with that if you can generate different types of DSCP marked traffic. That's what I was thinking too, Kieran. I agree with you there, because like I have studied QoS and the DSCP values, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat many times. I think what's going to help it stick is actually doing a few labs. And I agree with you. Mentor says DMVPN screwed me and OSPF as well. Yeah. I hope I'm going to be, so far the DMVPN questions I've gotten right, because, I actually did a lot more study of DMVPN this time around, but I didn't really lab it. So I may lab that before it's all said and done. Kieran John says you can use a built-in Wireshark dissection tool. Dissection tool. Interesting. Let's take a look at what you're talking about there, Kieran. So let's grab a. Let's go to. Let's see. Where should we go? Packetlife.net. Jeremy Stretch's site and his captures. I don't really have any QoS captures. Let me see what he has in terms of QoS. How about DSCP? Decode as. Now, Kieran John, are you referring to DMVPN and the encryption? Well, let's see if there's some PCAPs in here. And also using the filter. Oh yeah, like if you're, so let's say I'm just looking for packets that are marked expedited forwarding. Yeah. No, your DSP stuff, there's a column you can add into Wireshark that'll give you more info. Oh, okay. So let's pull up a, I don't know if I have anything that's marked other than default USP cap. Oh, you know what we can do is go to CloudShark. Oh, check this out. I learned this little trick. Yes, absolutely, Kieran John. Go ahead and post the link. So let's do dscp on site cloudshark.org. Oh, MikroTik. Okay, okay. Let's check it out. Nice. Thank you for that. Enabling dscp type of service display column in Wireshark. Oh, to see it in your primary output screen. I like that. Oh, this is awesome. I'm going to put this in the in Discord too, because Discord's kind of a place where I remember, you know. Yeah, man, I like that. That's a great suggestion. Yeah, Nightbot, man. Slap Nightbot around. Mentor says it definitely comes down to luck on exam day. It took me 3 times, and I honestly felt I bombed. I was not prepared as I would have liked, yet I passed written. So either way, I've learned from my experience in labbing has reinforced my knowledge, leaps and bounds. Very true. Yeah, there is a lot of luck. That's what happened to me on the second time. But how do you combat that? You combat it by just learning more and more, right? As much as you can. Why is this is weird the way this is displaying here? There we go. So I'm not sure if I could show that here, but I know I can at Wireshark, and I think we can download this. Anyway, that's a great suggestion, and I've got the link now, so I will definitely be using that. Good stuff. Great stuff. So I'm weak in those areas. OSPF v3, I'll say that metroe product types. I tell you, folks, I downloaded some. I actually went to the Metro Ethernet forum website, and I grabbed the PDF from there to try to explain. It's, you know, technical writing is not easy, and more often than not, our technical writers intend to explain things simply. They just can't help themselves. They end up explaining it in a very difficult to understand way to someone outside of the MEF. They did a better job though than Cisco, and the best job though is when I actually missed a question in Boson, and the Boson explanation was beautiful. I was like, click, I got it. I was having trouble distinguishing because some terms are intermingled often. And now, you know, between ELAN, and eTree, I think I have a pretty good understanding of kind of what terms and products go with those. But I'm going to do some more study on those as well. So yeah, that's where I'm at, folks. I've been jabbering for about a half hour, blogging about my progress. That's about it. Not really much else to show, folks. I will say I had a great comment on a YouTube video that I posted in Discord too. You know, I was struggling at some point a lot with large lab in EVE-NG in Azure. I think I had like, excuse me, 80 different nodes. Things just weren't working right, but someone posted, yeah, because EVE-NG Community Edition is limited to 60 nodes, I think. So they actually have a page, comparison page. Yeah, 63, right. Community versus Pro Edition. Yeah, he posted a link. 63 is what the tweet said. Yes, and I actually clicked on the link. Here it is. And I'll share this out too. Yeah, 63 node limit. Now, it does let you create more than 63 nodes in your lab, but unpredictability ensues. That's the only problem. So I was very critical of how it was working, but that's why. Yes, I heard about the Black Friday sale on Pro Edition. And I have to say, if I did not already have a license for Pro Edition, I would have purchased it at that time, you know, for sure. I'm going to post this link as well so that it's there as an archive. I love the sale. Folks, keep an eye on end of year sales, especially Safari Books Online. Now, you can get that through acm.org. I think cheaper than any deal they're going to offer, but there are some deals that come out, you know, at the end of the year and in January as well. So always post those out there, folks, for the rest of the community if you see a good one. Quiz time. So this is something I asked my friend, a dude for him who has been preparing. Safari Books is insane. It is. It's awesome. Interesting, Tigo. I did not know that. ACM runs usually lower pricing at end of year too. Yeah, end of the year is usually the best time to like re-up your stuff. For sure. I did not know that about ACM. I'm going to keep a lookout on that. I wonder if you can add to your subscription, like I have a 1 year. Oh, for first time. Yeah, that's true. A lot of these deals are for first timers. So here's a question I asked dude for him who has now 8 days to go, folks, for his exam. And he got it right. SNMP programmability is based on MIBs, whereas NETCONF programmability is modeled after fill in the blank. And if anybody knows, yes, you got it, Digo, Yang models, right? So I like that because this actually came out of the, well, the question did not, but the principle came out of the network programmability part of the Evolving Technologies book, and it had a nice chart comparing SNMP and NetConf. And sort of, you know, and it actually helped me sort of correlate what some of the different components are. Stream is delaying. I just had a few frame drops. Not sure why. Okay. Yang. Yep, you folks got it. Yang models. It is yet another networking something. Yet another next generation. So much snarky cynicism in some of these namings. Yeah, so there's an article on here. You know, you can use XML. Or JSON. But yeah, good stuff, folks. So yeah, that's part of Evolving Technologies. And again, if you have not yet voted, I haven't really talked about it here on the stream, but we did get nominated. Of course, well, nominated. I nominated myself. You had to nominate yourself, I think, to so everyone here nominated themselves. But there's a finalist list. I have to say, in my category, this is probably equal to the number of people who nominated themselves, to be honest. I don't know how many. I wish there were more podcasts or video series. There actually are more podcasts than this, but I don't think the folks like nominated themselves. You know, like Packet Pushers. That's a podcast series. But yeah, get out there and vote if you have not already. Thank you, Tigo. Appreciate it. If nothing else, like David Bombal is in that category. Here's my stats, Diego, if you could see them. Pay no mind to the missed frames because that's 60 frames per second, which I rarely achieve. But I have to set it to 60 in order to get high def uploads to YouTube. But this is my network drop frames right now. Actually, I don't have any network drop frames. This is a pretty decent bit rate. Stop and drop frames. Yeah, that could be my encoding, but this is not bad, the 1.9%. When this starts to go red, that's when I've had complaints about the stream. So it might be your connection. I don't know. It could be Twitch. I have a green so far. But yeah, get out, vote, and thanks for hanging out, folks. So here's. Uh-oh, just lost me. Yeah, I'm still pumping out frames, so yeah, it must be something weird. Thanks for hanging out, folks. I appreciate it. Appreciate the resource mentors, the links, network automation, and folks, we'll keep at it. If you're not yet on Discord, hang out on the Discord. Cheers, Kieran. Thanks so much for the support and hanging out with us in the stream and the good links and conversations, the good convos, folks. And, you know, we have a regular week next week, but the following week and the week after that, we're going to be doing some more streaming than normal because we're going to probably be doing some labs on stream. So y'all can look forward to that. Thanks for hanging out. Sending all good bits across the universe to everybody in your labs and in your studies and in your change control scripts. And we shall see you back here tomorrow night, a Land Tamer stream. You have a good Sunday.